Hi, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado, and welcome to another one of my photography talks. So today I'm going to talk about film, specifically big film. So this is Arista EDU Ultra 100 4x5 film. The beauty of this is there are 50 frames in here, and 50 frames only cost $35 from B&H. And it's new film, so it's not expired. There are times that I love expired film, but then there are times when I'm doing pro work or commercial work that I need to have control and I need to know what I have. I have used Tri-X before, but I haven't used, and I've used T-Max before, but I haven't used the Arista EDU. But if I can get quality black and white negatives out of this, which I'm going to test soon, it's not open yet, it just came in the mail. This is, when people say, oh, 4x5 is completely ridiculously expensive, it's like, is it? It's under $1 a sheet. And there's something about 4x5 when you're creating portraiture that I think changes the psychology of the person who is being photographed. And I think I've talked about this before. Whereas in a regular camera, you have this object between you. With a 4x5, once you have focused and set up the camera, you walk in front of the camera and you're more connecting with the person. And I think the bigger the camera or the more special it is, the more that people respond, and they either relax differently, or maybe they don't, or they give you more time, or they allow you to work because you're creating a photograph. And a 4x5 photograph, it doesn't have to be that expensive. People think of large format as unbelievably expensive. You could put this into an old speed graphic that you can pick up for a few $100s, and you're shooting large negatives with great lenses that you're creating something that is got such a richness in detail because it's 4x5 and it's under $1 a sheet. So say you went out to do landscapes and you went out at sunrise and you took some of this, and the first light, about a half hour before sunrise, you get this great misty fog. Just wait. Wait until you see exactly what is at the optimal time. You're not spraying and praying, and you shoot a frame. And then shoot a second frame so that you can have choices in your developing if you want to go a little bit more development or a little bit less. And then you come home, and then you go and you shoot 2 more frames. Once the sun hits, and the sun is at full intensity, and you're seeing that beautiful morning, and the fog is burning off, and then you shoot 2 more frames. You just shot 4 frames for under $4. And you go back to your studio, or your lab, your house, and you process it yourself. And if you can process your own black and white, the cost is so low, and the idea that you're getting such control and you're getting to shoot a 4x5 camera and you're getting to experience that process, there's something to that. And I'm not a landscape guy. I'm going to do the same thing, but I require, the person I'm photographing to hold still, which is even more difficult. As Sally Mann said, Sally Mann has a book called Hold Still. It's the story of her life as a photographer, growing up, raising a family, and photographing them with an 8x10 camera. But there is something different about if you go to a gallery and you present them with your work and you say all of these were shot with a 4x5 camera and here they are if you want to preview them, just as you explain to them that they were shot with a 4x5 camera, they're going to respond differently because you're not just another guy with a Nikon digital spraying and praying and shooting the same thing everybody else is. And hopefully you're developing your eye, you're seeing light, and you're working all that into the photographs too. It's certainly important to have content. And the material isn't enough, but what a great example of 4x5 doesn't have to be that expensive. Especially, again now, that's not a proven film to me. I'm trying it out, but I'm willing to try out films that are a little bit less expensive. Even if I end up spending on Tri-X or T-Max, HP5, it's still probably just over $1 a sheet. So it's not like it's that expensive. We make it into everything is so expensive, and it's really not. And if you want to do a photo of a tree stump, if you want to do a photograph of some leaves and some flowers by a rock, you might not need 800 frames of that to get it. You could probably get it in 1 or 2. And to have the control of the 4x5 with the moving focal plane and able to, shift and tilt. There's something about that. So maybe it's something for you to think about. Spring is coming and we'll be able to go outside. If you're a landscape person, you might want to say, well, maybe I'll do a little bit of landscape with a 4x5. And frankly, whatever you pay for that speed graphic or any 4x5, just like a Leica, if you don't overpay for it, you can always get your money out. You're just tying up your money because none of that equipment that is that old is changing value very much. The prices have come pretty far down that they're only a few $100s, and I bet in a year you can unload it for a few $100s. So if you're interested in trying 4x5, it might be a worthwhile thing to try now. All right, that's today's photography talk. If you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button and I'll bring you some more. Thanks so much for watching.